Hey, welcome everybody. This is Mark Dannenberg. I have our entire trading and education team with me here tonight. Aaron Rumley, Michael Castor, and Kristen Kane. So we're going to be hearing from them in a little bit when we get into the Q&A. But I appreciate everybody being here. Let's just go ahead and get started. So the purpose of this Q&A is to give each of you an opportunity to ask questions, look for clarification, deepen your understanding of the trading journey that you are on to build your own personal trading business. We have a mantra here that is learn to trade, trade to earn. We strongly promote that people trade in a simulation mode, paper trading as they are in learning mode, that they participate in a well organized education program, which we offer. So learn to trade, and then once you've really validated your own knowledge and understanding and skill set, turn on some live money action and trade to earn. That's what we're here to help you learn how to do. So questions for this evening will be about anything that we are involved in, anything that we support, anything that we teach. We're here to teach, motivate, and inspire. The adaptive entry system is the primary tool that we use for identifying trends. If you have questions about that, would love to talk with you about that. Adaptive entry system is offered by New Cycle Trading and Analytics, and we represent them in this effort. We have a live trading room for real-time trading support. Think of that as ongoing real-time education throughout the market day from 8:45 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. And it's a great opportunity for you to really look over our shoulders and not only see the charts of the adaptive entry system, but understand how to properly interpret the signals, when to get in, when to stay out, when to exit the trade, how to properly monitor that. Futures trading education is a big part of what we offer also. We're here to teach you the risk and reward of futures. Futures are often misconstrued as something that is highly volatile. A lot of people steer away from futures because they hear horrible stories about it. But most of those horrible stories are either from or about people who had no knowledge or education or practical discipline about how to trade them. We teach you how to properly manage your risk and how to leverage the reward of futures. And using futures trading education, we use the adaptive entry system to identify the trading signals that we can trade on futures. So we'll talk a little bit about that in some more in a bit. The personal trading plan, if you have questions about that, we built this, designed it to give you a way to view your business as a personal business. You have your own small business that is a trading business. The personal trading plan helps you identify what your profit and loss run rates are, and then use those to project forward, assuming that you can achieve the same level of performance going forward, and then update and modify that on a daily basis. It's really an outstanding tool. It's a very simple tool to use. We can help you understand the value of it, but you're going to see here in just a few minutes how the projections really can inspire you to continue your trading and really make a commitment, a personal commitment to focus your learning and training on being a successful trader. And then for options traders, we have Profit Builder Plus for options education. If you're interested in doing a deep dive on options education and really learning how to not only understand the very basics of options, but also understand some of the more advanced spread strategies, management strategies, profit generation strategies, we have an outstanding program called Profit Builder Plus. All right, so we're going to move forward here. Now, one of the things that I think is extremely important for every trader who is serious about building a personal trading business is to make use of the personal trading plan at the end of the trading day. Now, this is a tool that will help you understand what your current run rate of profits and losses will project out to. If you're just getting started out, it's a good way for you to keep track of your day-to-day performance. Traders have a tendency to fall into a trap of highs and lows. There's an emotional roller coaster involved in trading. You don't feel very good today because you lost. You feel euphoric the next day because you won, but there's no continuity unless you actually keep track of your performance and have some way to see if I was to continue earning at the same rate I am, what that projects out to over the course of a year. So I'm going to jump over to our personal trading plan. And actually, I'm going to back up here just a minute. I'm going to start with, here we go. Start with our performance. So thanks to Aaron, Aaron designed this tracking tool that we use for our trading in the live trading room. And it allows us to track the details of every trade. So see that today there's the details of every single trade, the entry time of the trade, whether it was a short or long, what chart, we're usually trading on a 5-minute chart, what strategy was being used. It's all part of the adaptive entry system. And then whether it was a profit or loss, and that's stated in terms of the number of points. We focus our tracking for within the live trading room on trading the NASDAQ 100 futures. And we do so because it's a very easy way for us to help you understand how to interpret the signals on the adaptive entry system. Once you understand that, you can apply the exact same logic to most any futures contract, and you can also apply it to trading options, and we'll chat a little bit about that later. But once we have that detail listed on a trade-by-trade basis, which we do every single day, we're able to then look at a daily summary, and we can sort this into a lot of different configurations and categories. One of them is starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time and trading until 12 noon, and taking all 4 of the adaptive entry system signals. And on a day-to-day basis, we can see, well, how many points. And by the way, NASDAQ 100 futures has a value of $20 per point per contract. So you see 65 points, that is multiplied times $20 in order to see what the overall profit was for that day. And then you can multiply it times your multiple of contracts if you have more than one contract. So that's one category. Another category that we track is trading from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern and taking only trending trades. So it's the trend bias trades as well as the trend continuation trades. We don't take the consensus signals and we don't take the momentum signals. And this was designed so that we could show our trading community that there are variables to how you trade, the times of day that you trade, and the types of signals that you take. We've been tracking both of these categories on a personal trading plan since July of 2020. And then in January of this year, 2021, we added a third category that we're also tracking. And this basically corresponds to exactly what we do in the live trading room. The live trading room opens at 8:45 a.m. Eastern and it closes no later than 4 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we close a little earlier, generally between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. we close. And we're taking all of the adaptive entry system signals plus fractals. So these 3 categories give you a real good idea of what the variable nature of profit production can be, performance on a day-to-day basis, and it also gives you an idea of where you could focus your time and attention. Now, it's not just limited to those categories. Those are the 3 that we've selected to trade and track in a personal trading plan, which I'm going to show you here in just a minute. But at any point in time, we can help you in the live trading room, or even tonight in this Q&A, we can help you identify the right time frame for to track and the right signals to track. We've built this, Aaron built this research tab in the tracking tool, so we can select any combination of signals, and we can select any time frame to start, any time frame to end, and it will display for us how many days, first of all, how many trading days. For example, in the 8:45 a.m. to 4 p.m. category, taking all plus fractals, all the signals plus the fractals, we have in our database now 213 trading days, and the average profit per day is just over $800 per day. There have been 49 losing days, So that average is inclusive of the losing days. And we take about 31 trades, a little over 31 trades during the 8:45 to 4. That's an average. And we have a 74.4% win-loss ratio. So we can change that to anything you desire and help you identify when you want to work your business. So it's a very powerful, very robust tool. The more data we collect, the more integrity it has. And we're pretty excited about the fact that most any single category or time frame that we track, you should be able to produce positive results. It doesn't mean that you're going to produce positive results every day, certainly. And certainly there are some weeks where you're not going to produce positive results, but I'm going to comment on that when I get to the personal trading plan here. So I'm going to jump over to the personal trading plan. Those three categories that I mentioned, the tab here labeled LTR all is actually the 9:30 to noon. All signals. The LTR TB10 is the 7 to 4 trend bias and continuation. And the LTR all and fractals is the 8:45 to 4. So we have everything entered in terms of actual performance through today, and everything in blue, that's highlighted in blue, is our past history. That's already behind us, and those values are locked in. Anything out in front of us that's white is a value that is subject to a profit, a loss, a bigger profit than what we anticipated, a smaller loss, bigger loss, smaller profit. So we're going to forecast out into the future based on the actual run rates and the actual values of profit and loss that we've achieved to date. So let me start with the 9:30 to noon category. What we're looking at up here is we have 41.6 weeks under our belt out of a 52-week plan. So this is designed to be a 52-week plan. So we have just over 10 weeks remaining of our 52-week plan. And during those 41.6 weeks that we have shown all of our trades, all wins, all losses, we've had 72 losing days. Now we look at the losing days. We want to make sure that we are 100% transparent, not only in our reporting, but transparent and honest with ourselves. 72 losing days, that's a reality in trading. By default, everything else is a winning day. So now these values right here are going to help us understand what our averages are. In the 41.6 weeks that we've traded so far and tracking in our personal trading plan, the average winning day has earned 21.26 points. That's the average winning day. The average losing day has been a loss of 43.37 points. Those are our valid run rates. That's what we've accomplished today. So what we do is we take those same values and we put them in our forecast going forward. So these numbers in blue won't change. They are already in our history. Going forward for the next 10 and a half weeks, we are going to assume that we could trade at a reasonably similar level to what we have in our history. So we're going to assume that going forward, our average positive day is 21.26 points, and that our average negative day is 43.37 points. We're also going to assume that we're trading no more than 3 contracts. If I were to scroll all the way back to July when we started this, you're going to see that we started with 1 contract, and the personal trading plan assesses the value of our account balance, and we take a percentage of that, which in our case is 10%, and we're willing to set that aside to allocate to the contract margin that is required. There's a $500 margin required in order to trade each contract. So the personal trading plan then scaled us up to 2 contracts, and then it scaled us up to 3 contracts, and we put in a maximum limit of no more than 3 contracts. So even as the account grows, we won't have a scale beyond 3 contracts. That's a comfortable level for us, and that's a value that each trader will choose on their own. You might decide that you want to trade up to 5 contracts. Someone else might decide they never want to go over 2 contracts. You know, that's a variable that is entirely up to you. So all of that together, the history, run rate, the forecast going forward for the next 10 and a half weeks, a maximum of 3 contracts says that the account value should be somewhere around $123,334. We won't know exactly what it's going to be until we have completed the last trading day in the 52nd week. This is an account that started with $5,000. So going from $5,000 to possibly $123,334 in a 52-week period, I think is a pretty strong statement. And that's you committing your time and trading from 9:30 to noon. That's knowing that you're going to have losing days, you're going to have winning days, and you don't get emotionally tied to any particular day or any particular week. This is a big picture, on the horizon. Where can I be in 12 months? So the second category, 7 to 4, taking just the trend bias and continuation trades. Same 41.6 weeks. There's been 75 losing days during that period of time. 26.1 is the point value for our average winning day, and 43.11 is the point value for our losing day. We're going to have wins, we're going to have losses. Um, Keeping to a maximum of 3 contracts in this category also. This account, which also started with $5,000, appears to be headed for account value of somewhere around 184,471. Again, that can change. The positive days could decrease or increase. The negative days could decrease or increase in the next 10 and a half weeks. So whatever they are at the end of each day, we plug them into our forecast. We take our actual run rate to date and we plug it into our forecast. So there's almost $185,000 potential, having started with $5,000. And then the last category that we're tracking, we started a new category at the beginning of this year. So this category has only been in place um, for 15.6 weeks. There have been 25 losing days during that 15.6 weeks. The average winning day is 38.09 points. The average losing day is minus 61.88. Now, there have been a few bigger losing days more recently. That's just part of the market. That's just part of the natural cycle of things. Again, we got to have a big picture view out on the horizon. What's our 52-week target? This account and the first trading day of January 2021 started with $5,000. And we're also limiting this account to 3 contracts. We've already scaled up to 3 contracts. In fact, if I scroll back up here, you'll see we started with 1 contract. We got up to 2 contracts. We actually got up to 3 contracts, and then we had a fairly sizable losing day. So the personal trading plan took us back to 1 contract, and then we rescaled back up to 2, and then back up to 3, and then we've been at 3 ever since. So right now, and again, we're only 15 and a half weeks into a 52-week plan here. Right now, the projection for a 12-month period is about $261,000. I think once we get 3, 4, 5 months into this, well, we already are 3 or 4. Once we get 5 months into this, we'll start to see the run rate, the daily variable on the run rate stabilize a bit more, and the future projected number ends up becoming less volatile, meaning it doesn't change as much from day to day. Now, there was a question that was presented to me, and I wanted to address this before we get to the formal Q&A. I wanted to address this here on this recording so that it's available for others to learn from. I was asked the question, so how do I handle my trading account when it's my intention to live on my trading account? When can I pull money out, and what happens if then the next week I lose? That's very stressful. And that statement is absolutely true. So in a perfect world, if you're going to start a trading business, you need to first of all learn to trade. You need to learn to trade. And there's going to be, in my opinion, an investment of 1 to 3 months of learning, testing your own knowledge, validating your confidence level in trading, and for yourself personally, validating that you have the right metrics that you're using, meaning the adaptive entry system metrics. We're here to support you in the live trading room regarding that. So that's number one. Number two, You have to have the capital to trade. Now, in all three of these cases, we're only starting with $5,000. You can start with whatever you choose, but I would never recommend that you start trading more than one contract when you begin. So one contract may not give you a income level that you desire to transition out of whatever you're trying to and into being a full-time trader. And I think there's another key which we've not talked very much about here as people are getting started, but I think it's really important that you have, if you're really going to do this right, that you have 12 months of your income needs set aside that you're living off of. And what you're doing is you are growing your personal trading account and your personal trading business over the course of 12 months. That right there is a huge stress release because you're not trying to trade from day one and saying, well, at the end of the week, I need to take out what I need to live on. That is not a strong success formula. You need to have some buildup of your account before you start removing funds. Now, there's a column on the personal trading plan that allows you to take out funds whenever you want. You can plan for that. But I think it's really important that you have 1 to 3 months that are committed to building your knowledge base and your confidence base and going through a few different market cycles and understanding, learning from Aaron and Michael how to properly interpret the signals. During that period of time, you want to have your income needs met. That's set aside for you. Maybe you're still working, maybe you still have income from some other source. And then as you get further out in time and you start to feel more comfortable, you could start to transition to taking money out of your account as you're learning. I want you to avoid the problem that a lot of people do encounter, and I hear from people saying, I tried this, I did it for a month, and I just didn't make the kind of money that I need to make. Well, I think you have an unrealistic expectation that you're supposed to be able to make that in a month. I am 100% confident that you can make what you need in a month. I can't guarantee you will. Everybody has different skill sets and different aptitude levels, but I'm confident that you can make what you need in a month. But don't put so much pressure on yourself that you make what you need and you take out and you're right back to the beginning. You're right back to, now I'm back to one contract in the beginning. No, you want to plan this properly. So if I see I'm going to back off to this smaller one. If I see that my income projection over a 12-month period is $123,000, I'd actually like to grow and see after 52 weeks what my actual income was. And then I can decide at the end of 52 weeks how much of that to pull out to feed my lifestyle and to give me the month-to-month income that I need. And then I pull that out, set it aside, and then I do the same thing the second year, and I start to regrow my account. And maybe in the second year, you want to make your contract max 4 contracts or 5 contracts because now you've gained a full year of experience and you're feeling confident, you have a good stride going. You can do no more work, do the exact same amount of work that you did in year one, and you can just add 1 or 2 contracts and you can increase potentially the income that you earn over that year. But let it grow over the course of that year, and at the end of the year, pull that out in order to fuel your living expenses. And now what you've done is you've successfully transitioned into a profitable income producing trading business. So I think it was really important. The question that was asked just prompted me to think we haven't talked enough about the importance of how to manage your money while you're in that learning to trade before you trade to earn period of time. Okay, so just about ready for questions here. I just want to close that overview of the personal trading plan with a couple of thoughts here. A lot of traders struggle with the emotional side of risk and losses. They don't really know how to manage it. The personal trading plan helps you get around that. In fact, what I was just talking about, the personal trading plan helps you see what your big picture 52-week horizon income can be and allows you to plan for that for the following year being your income. But during the first year, or at least during the first 6 months, let it grow, let it build, and have something set aside that you can live on during that that period of time. Personal training plan helps you understand when is enough, when you should or could stop trading for the day. What's a reasonable profit and loss target? If I knew that my 52-week income was more than adequate to meet whatever needs or expectations I had in the projection, and I know that in order to achieve that number, my daily profit performance is, say, 21 points. If I hit 21 points for the day, maybe I hit it in the first 45 minutes of trading, I might decide to stop trading because I know that what I just did was I achieved a point value, a profit value that says I am still one more day on pace to hit the profit income over a 52-week period that I desire. The PTP from the live trading room performance that I just showed you is ranging anywhere from 123,000 to 261,000 in potential income over a 52-week plan. Each account started with $5,000, and the 123,000 is requiring as little as 2.5 days per week. Sorry, 2.5 hours per day. I said that completely wrong. 2.5 hours per day of your time commitment. So the last thing I'll say about that, I've said this in prior Q&As, but a simple statistic data point: the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development states that the median household income in the United States is $78,500. What we're showing you is an opportunity to be well above that median income. And maybe your expectations and your desires are even less than what I showed you. Well, that just means it's going to be that much easier for you to possibly achieve that. So learn to trade to earn. We can't emphasize strongly enough the importance of learning to trade. I have heard too many people who jump in, they like it, they're successful for a week or 2 weeks, and they jump into live money, and then I get an email from them and say, well, I've lost a lot of money. Well, it's really because you didn't commit yourself to doing it over a period of time that would allow you to actually achieve a consistent level of success, and then it's just a very natural step off into live trading. So we offer futures trading education, options education, and New Cycle Trading offers the adaptive entry system, live trading room, and then of course the personal trading plan. We collectively build all these tools to help you build your own personal trading business. And if you want more information on any of that, you can go to optionsmoneymaker.com/investor2.